action.
Hello again. Jim Schaefer here, author of Biblical One-Page Briefs. The idea behind this particular writing or set of writings and ministries, of course, is to get people into the scripture, into what the Bible has to say about this topic or that topic. If you go into it, you'll see a list in the index, and there's about 100 topics in each of three of these volumes. So there's over 300 topics. I would submit, based on you reading, putting it next to your bed and reading one before you go to sleep, that you could use these for the next 3 years. Because I'll guarantee you, in a year, you won't remember the one that you read first. And you can reread and be blessed again. So they come in real handy, and I'm writing some more as we discuss. But here we are in 2024, and in the summer of 2024, a lot of things are going on. A lot of things are going on in the world. A lot of things are going on in the United States. A lot of political items. And I might add, as a student of eschatology for the last 5 decades, that a great deal is happening that was prophesied in the scripture. We're having to deal with the Jewish lineage people who are back in the Middle East. And in case you didn't know, they weren't there for 1900 years. This all transpired after the Second World War, when we had the Holocaust, and really people of Jewish lineage didn't feel as though they had a homeland they could call their own. So they started moving back to Israel, and the rest is history. So I thought, given all that information, I'd share a brief with you that I wrote on the end times. I call it the latter or last days. I've been led to read the minor prophets of late. I like it to finishing a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's been a long trip through Genesis, Exodus, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Daniel, Zechariah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Romans, Ephesians, and Revelation, with multiple stops in between. In my traveling days, I reached every physical state in the U.S. Union, but all but 3 capitals, the Caribbean, Europe, over a dozen times, China, and Israel. Traveling the free world and pursuing the scriptures has been a joyride. The Bible, then, is God's trip through and with his creation. It has a beginning, Genesis 1, and an ending, 2 Peter 3:10. The Bible doesn't teach evolution going back billions of years, nor does it picture the earth lasting another billion years. Here today, gone tomorrow. We're on a clock, my friend. God speaks of his people and his return to work with them in the near future. In Hosea 3, 4, and 5, he spells it out as he proclaims, quote, "The children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and they shall come in fear to the Lord, to his goodness, in the latter days." In Micah 4:1, God says, it shall come to pass in the latter days. He then goes on to say that the house of the Lord will be established and people will flow to it. And then he says the word of the Lord will flow out of Jerusalem. Lastly, during that time, nation shall not live sword against nation. Has that happened yet in history? I think the puzzle has a few pieces left to go. Isaiah 2:2 states, "It shall come to pass in the latter days." It goes on to say, "The mountain of the house of the Lord, and many peoples shall come and say, Come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, that he may teach us his ways." I believe this spoke of the millennium period in Revelation 20. Daniel was denied the privilege of prophetic understanding at the end of his ministry. He was given that same prognostication concerning the, quote, end of days, being told the Antichrist must come and sit in the temple and the sacrifices ended. Again, this hasn't happened yet. As a matter of fact, we can go to Matthew 24:15. Quote, "When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place." And down through verse 31, we see the latter days scenario. This is Christ's rendition, and it hasn't happened. The tribulation takes place, and Christ returns. Christ's admonition, get out of town. We've covered it now in the old and the new. God has a plan, and He's laid it out. So take Christ's advice. Get out of town.